Hey y'all, it's your girl Mardio and I'm back with it, and today we're going to be talking about what you need to know before you start nursing school. I'm just going to give you guys advice and give you guys some tips on what I wish I knew when I started versus things that I kind of just implemented into my journey. Okay, so let's start off with the expectations versus the reality. I went into nursing school thinking that I was not going to have a life. I was like, this is going to be the end of me. Like, I'm going to be going to school all day, every day. Like, I'm not going to have a life. I'm not going to be social. Like, I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. But honestly, going into it, like, I realized like, you can make time for things if you want to. Like, it just really matters about how you manage your time. I realized that it's more about mindset than just like all the stuff that you're going through, because yes, you're gonna have a lot of homework, yes, you're gonna spend a lot of time studying. If you manage your time correctly, you can literally go out if you want to. You can do whatever you want. You can go take trips if you can. It just really depends. But once you get into the flow of things, you'll understand like your own schedule. You'll see like what you can do, what you can't do, what works best for you. For me, you know, at first I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna just cut everybody off. I'm not gonna talk to anyone. I'm gonna just lock in. But then I realized like, girl, you can go outside if you want to go outside. Like, you can enjoy your life in nursing school. So yes, starting out is going to be a lot to take in, but once you start to get in that flow of things, you realize that it's not as hard as it seems, you know. But like I said, for you to pass in nursing school, you have to have good time management. This is not a program where you can just slack off and then catch up later. This is a program where you have to literally take it day by day and be on top of your game. If you're not, then you're not going to do well. And I'm gonna just be honest. Like I said, nursing school is busy and it is time consuming, but when you plan things ahead and you learn to get your work done, you know, as soon as possible, it's so much easier to live your life and plan things better. For me, the way my schedule was set up, a lot of our assignments were due on Sunday, but I would try to get most of them done like earlier in the week, so then my whole week I can just cruise by and I don't have to be stressed. Like, for example, like my birthday's coming up. I'm about to do all my assignments ahead of time just so I can like not stress around my birthday time, and I can know that, hey, everything's done. You know, I'm gonna enjoy myself and I'm not gonna think about school at all. So, you know, that's just where time management comes in. I also believe that if you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you will do good. That's something that I kind of live by now, because at first, when I first started nursing school, I was like not like caring about myself. I was just like, whatever, like, I'm just going to school, who cares? But then I like, as I got more into the program and I was like getting more comfortable with who I was as a student, I started doing my hair. I started, you know, looking good. I started looking presentable, like, you know, putting a little earring, because you can't wear too much, but like, you know, just making yourself more presentable, more polished will benefit you as a student, because it's going to tell your mind like, hey, like, I look good, I feel good, like it's time to, you know, put this into my work. And it works, trust me. Also, just hanging out with friends, like just going out with friends, or if you're going to like a coffee shop, or if you want to go to a beach, like those type of things, like you have to implement those into your daily routines so nursing school does not overconsume you. It's so easy to just want to lock in, just want to be so like, okay, I'm all about school. But when you realize that you have to have balance, that's when you will thrive as a student. Okay, next, one of the best things about nursing school is the network that you build. I emphasize so much about being social, getting to know your professors, getting to know your classmates. You don't want to be that person who just sits in the back and doesn't really talk, because you're not going to be able to maximize your opportunity in nursing. It's not just about like how people say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But in this case, it is what you know, because you want to know your stuff, but you also want to make them, you also want to make those relationships, because you never know what you might need. And not even in a like, oh, I need to benefit off people way, but you do want to make sure that you're maximizing, you know, your opportunities, be able to maintain good relationships if you want to get to the next level. Even when you're in clinicals, you want to make sure that you're speaking to those nurses. You want to make sure that you're standing out. You don't want to blend in, because once you blend in, it's kind of easy to forget about you, and you never know what these nurses might have. You never know. Where was I? I don't even know. Oh well. Now, when it comes to studying, it's all about working smart and not hard. When I first started nursing school, I was studying so much. Like, I was reading every word of every textbook. Like, I was doing flashcards over and over and over again. And then I realized, like, this is not working for me. Like, this is taking too much of my time, and it's not even like I'm grasping the information as much as I want to. So for me, I stopped reading as much. I was obviously reading my material, making sure I'm understanding every concept, but I wasn't reading everything front to back. And then I also implemented, like, call it an information dump. So what I do is I'll think of topics. Let's say that your professor gives you different topics to study for, like an exam. For me, I'll go over those topics, and what I'll do is I'll just information dump. So let's say, I think this is active recall. I'm not sure if it's the same, but it's kind of what I do. But I'll look at the topic, and then I'll talk about everything I know about the topic, and then I'll go over it again and then look about what I don't know, and then try to memorize that, if that makes sense. And it kind of helps your brain work and critically think about the concept rather than just memorizing words. You know, that kind of works for me. I feel like everyone's different, so just make sure you figure out what works for you best. I know a lot of people like to do flashcards, some people like to do practice problems. Oh yeah, also I use ChatGPT but not to cheat. I use ChatGPT to you can put a concept into an AI and then ask it to give you critical thinking questions regarding this concept, and I'll just practice those as concept questions, and it will allow me to critically think about something and like understand the concept better. So that works for me. If you learn how to like utilize AI better and not cheat, you'll understand it better. Let's talk about the financial side, because this is a very underrated thing that you need to understand in nursing school. Because if you're just going through nursing school and you have no financial plan, girl, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You have to have a financial plan. If you want, like, I would consider, like, if you can get a part-time job in nursing school, or if you do full-time. I know a lot of people who do full-time jobs, but like there's gonna be times where you have to get different like clinical immunizations. Like, you're gonna have to do a lot of different things, pay for a lot of different things in nursing school that, you know, I was kind of oblivious to, and I was like, oh, who cares? But do not do that. Like, make sure you have a set of plan. Make sure you have saved money. You don't even have to have a lot of saved money, but make sure you have a financial plan when in nursing school, because you're gonna need it for sure. And if you can, like, I would recommend, like, if you're not in nursing school yet, I would recommend trying to get accepted for scholarships, because, you know, those can really pay off. And if you're able to get accepted for some, you know, why not try that? Clinicals is the best part of nursing school. I love clinicals down. Every time I go to clinicals, I'm so excited. It is kind of hard because you do have to get up really early. Like, I was getting up like 4 and 5 in the morning sometimes, depending on how far my commute was from my house to the clinical site, because they are going to be different every single term. But you get to put everything that you learn in theory into clinicals, and it really helps you understand the concept of nursing way better. It can be a little nerve-wracking because, like, it's your first time in clinicals and you're new and you don't really know how to go about it. But as long as you ask questions, don't be annoying. Don't ask a lot of questions and like kind of piss the nurses off, because that can happen. But just like ask questions. Don't be shy. Like, hey, if you don't know how to do something, say, hey, I don't know how to do this, can you show me? Just really lock in and focus, because clinicals is gonna like really make your nursing experience. I don't think I'm still a nursing student, so I can't say like, oh, it helps when you become a new grad, because honestly I hear a lot of people say like, oh, like, you're not really gonna learn stuff until you're on the floor. But like, really pay attention, because you'll understand, you know, different ways on how to be a nurse. And honestly, like, God forbid, but if you're dealing with a nurse that isn't as good, you can see those things and you can know what not to do when you are an actual nurse. But yeah, like I said, just asking those questions, and don't be afraid to do things, because that's going to help build your confidence, and that's going to make you a better overall nursing student. It's such a rewarding feeling to know that, okay, like, I just did that. I just did an IV and I didn't mess up. Just doing those little things, they build up, and it makes you feel more as a nurse. Like, when I first, comparing from now to when I first started clinicals, I was scared to like feed a patient. Now, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I'll give you a shot. I'll go do your IV right now, because you have to realize that I built that from the ground up. Like, I had no idea what I was getting into. Like, I have no nursing experience, so I was trying to get all the experience I could in clinicals, because it was going to just make me a better overall nursing student, and that's what really helped me become a better nursing student. So sometimes I really wish that I knew like how emotional nursing can be, because there's going to be times where you're going to see things, you're going to experience things, overhear things, and you're going to be like, whoa, like, I was not ready for that. Like, you know, so make sure you're understanding that you have to go in there with like a really strong mindset. Just know that you're built for this. Like, you're able to understand, like, okay, like, I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be strong for these families. I'm going to be strong for these patients, because you got to understand, these are like, we're taking care of the people who are going through things. Like, we're learning different concepts of people that are going through those things. So really be emotionally aware, like, be compassionate, because you never know what people really need. And honestly, I firmly believe that showing compassion makes you a good nurse. Like, once you know how to be compassionate and actually care about these people and treat them like human beings, that's when you're going to become a great nurse. To wrap things up, I just want to let you know that it's absolutely doable to do nursing school. Don't listen to these people online. Don't listen to social media. People will tell you this is the worst profession in the world, and it is not. I can tell you that now. It's really about mindset and perspective, how I said in the beginning of this video. So understand that when you go into this nursing program, manage your time wisely, balance your time, go out with your friends, do all the stuff you want to do, but make sure you do it responsibly, and just live your life and just enjoy the process. It's all about mindset. It's all about perspective, girl. You got it. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. You are that girl, and you were made for this. And yeah.